The process of making a SeaPod has gone much slower than any of us thought it would go. We were expecting to have a SeaPod a long time ago, and a lot of things have gotten in the way of that, like a global pandemic and supply shortages and supply shocks and um, having to build a factory to build SeaPods in the first place. Then all kinds of other issues like not having workers that know how to know how to weld, and having to source welders, and yeah, so it's been a long process. But now that, and it's also a process of figuring out the what we actually need. So this hasn't been something we had plans for it, but we're also in the research and development stage. So plans change, and they change quite quickly because we have to adapt and test things and see what works and see what doesn't work. And so the process of making the first SeaPod spar took, I would say, just over a year, which is way too long. We really had planned to be able to do two per month, and the good news is that we have now started the steel frame, the steel spar, the portion that goes in the water, that's the floating section of the SeaPod. We've now started number 2 and spar number 3. So we are in production, and we expect to have about 90% completion by the end of December. So that's quite an acceleration. These two have taken now about 3 months from beginning to end. So that's a lot faster than a year, basically. And we're looking at accelerating that to get to the point of being able to do about one per week by we could get there by March or April, but we have to do some testing before we can pull the trigger on doing larger production. But things are moving in the right direction, so it's all good. It's all very good news.